I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for Amy Christie Hatfield, sister of Mona Christie, a Clinton Elementary School instructional assistant. Thank you. Open the school committee meeting. I look at the date for November 7th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve the bills?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 17th, 2022?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. And now, turn it over to Dr. Meyer.
Well, yeah, so we're going to start off tonight with our celebrations, recognizing our students and staff. So we'll start with the high school, and coming up to present the Students and Staff Members of the Month, our Principal Sermon.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to start with, we have one staff member. His name is Alan Silva. And Mr. De Silva has a lot going on in his life. You know, Mr. De Silva was nominated by a student. The student writes, Mr. De Silva comes to school every day and is a great teacher. I'm thankful that he has stuck with my class, especially to help us get through our AP test. He's been one of my favorite teachers, and he always comes up with several ways of explaining things to us so we fully understand it. He always goes above and beyond, and I really appreciate having him as a teacher. So, Mr. De Silva.
You guys want to pose for your picture? There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Sure. I didn't know if I was allowed. You guys are very official over here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Second, we have a student that was nominated by a staff member here at Clinton High School. Ricky Walsh. Ricky was nominated, Ricky always comes to class each day with a positive attitude and always knows how to put a positive spin on everything he does. He is respectful and kind to all of his classmates, and he also enjoys working with the other students. Ricky Walsh. Over here.
And next we'll move on to the middle school. I think Principal Harder and Dean of Students Otero are going to share duties with the staff and the students.
So I am doing our staff, and tonight we have appointed our department heads. Two of them are here today. We have Kate Philbin, who is here for our special education department, Brianna Ball, who does math. We also have Betsy Gothing, who is our English department head, and for our ELL students, it's Kate Warren. Anyway, she may get here in a few minutes. These four were nominated because they have been so dedicated. This is a new position relative to Clinton Middle School, and they have been guiding us particularly in our goals this year to work on increasing our understanding of data and helping students and staff to better prepare for our next round of MCAS tests. And their understanding and their facilitation has been excellent and really, really necessary for the school. So thank you all. And we have two of them here tonight for representing, so we can give you your awards. Thank you.
picture there. Good chance.
Hello. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Swag. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a lot of hard work. Me too.
And I'm now going to do our students of the month. We have 5 of them, 1 from each grade again. I'm going to start with 5th grade. We have Luis Donis Escobar. And Luis's teachers say Luis embodies what it means to be a well-rounded student. He is hardworking, helpful, inquisitive, kind, and supportive to his peers. He's always willing to lend a helping hand in and out of the classroom and loves to apply critical thinking skills to the topics we are learning about in every subject. Like this. Everybody take a picture. Everybody can see the camera. All right, there you go.
That'll give you a backpack. Congratulations.
Our 6th grade student, I don't think is able to make it tonight, but that is Anya Roy. Her teacher said Anya consistently works hard in all of her classes. She's always willing to participate and is not afraid to share her thoughts and ideas with others. Anya is eager to help her classmates and teachers whenever needed. Her smile and kindness light up the room, and it's a pleasure to have her in class and an honor to nominate her for the 6th grade student. 7th grade, we have Lily Fagoni. So despite setbacks out of Lily's control, she has worked really hard to keep in touch with teachers and complete work in a timely manner. She is also very helpful to other students in the classroom. For our 7th and 8th grade team, we have Peyton Felice. Peyton is a respectful student who is always positively, intellectually engaged in class, demonstrates exceptional effort across the board in all subjects, shows interest in school, and her diligence is extraordinary. She shows enthusiasm for her classes. Without exception, she is recommended for Student of the Month.
I'd keep it, but I got a lot of them.
And our 8th grade student is Kyle Richardson. Kyle's an active participant throughout all of his classes. He asks insightful questions that further classroom discussion. The student has shown great improvement since last year and continues to impress his teachers each day.
Look at the camera, get a little. There you go.
There you go.
All right, and now to do the elementary students and staff of the month. It'll be Principal Silvio and Assistant Principal Pierre Marie.
Good evening, everyone. We are pleased to announce tonight that we are honoring 2 of our guidance counselors, Katie Burke and Emma Mayo. We asked staff to nominate other staff members, and both of these ladies came recommended over and over and over again. Sometimes together, sometimes individually. One nomination letter read, "Our guidance department, particularly Katie and Emma, work so hard to support each grade level they're working with and to make sure to support the students they see. They carry a lot for the students in the school, all the trauma, behaviors, home concerns, school concerns, but they are always ready to jump in and help any way they can with a smile on their face. I feel so fortunate to work with such amazing counselors at our school." Another read, "Katie and Emma are both equally invested in their students and advocate for them, do everything and anything they can do to support them in and out of the classroom. They show up every day, no matter what else is going on, and treat every student like they are the most important person." another nomination letter. I won't read them all. But we are so lucky to have Emma and Katie. Not only do they support their students, but they support us as teachers, and I've learned so much from them. They both take time to listen, they have a calm presence, and made this veteran teacher a better educator. They are great communicators, and they always show up. They are an asset to our school. Emma and Katie, we would both echo what is mentioned in these nominations because we observe it multiple times a day. You carry yourselves with a level of professionalism that has earned the respect of many of your colleagues, and you are a safe person for many of our students that they will say they have a connection with. As an administrative team, we know how incredibly lucky we are to have an open guidance team. So congratulations to both of you on this well-deserved recognition.
Pose for a good picture with Jane.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you.
Great job.
Congrats. All right, now our student. We are pleased to announce that our student of the month is Eve Dickow. Recently, I was in Eve's classroom, and she demonstrates what it means to be a leader. We spend a lot of time in classrooms, and we see many students, but Eve's quiet leadership is consistent every time. She took the lead in her group work, and she invites others into the conversation without being prompted. She is always actively engaged in her classroom, raising her hand, participating, and offering deep and articulate responses during class discussions. Eve is also a tremendous athlete. She is a leader outside at recess, and many other students look up to her. She is inclusive and always puts forth her best effort. Her teachers echo that. She sets a great example for her peers as far as being respectful, responsible, and safe. They think her willingness to take initiative to invite others into discussions, as well as motivating others who might not be willing to participate to join conversations, is something that stands out about her. She puts her absolute best effort into everything she does, and she always has a great attitude. Also, her dedication to football and her understanding of being a great teammate is something very special about her that she carries into her every day. Eve is a fantastic student and role model. She continues to put forth her best effort every day, and she participates in all activities and is always offering to help others in a quiet way. With important characteristics like always modeling the school rules, consistently putting forth your best effort, and having a team mindset that will serve you well, and that's why we are proud to recognize you as a student leader tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks for doing a great role. Congratulations.
Great job, Eve.
All right, so before I let these two sneak away, I think I mentioned this briefly at one of the last meetings, but I didn't have necessarily all the details. But I did receive communication that Megan Silvio, Clinton Elementary's principal, and Alyssa Piermarini, the assistant principal, have been recognized by the Reading Circuit as trailblazers along the path to effective evidence-based practices. They were nominated because of all the work they've done in implementing evidence-based curricula. They will be recognized at a Facebook Live event on November 9th at 7 p.m., and they will be officially presented with awards from the Reading Circuit. I think they've done a tremendous job, even during COVID, of making sure that we were implementing high-quality curricula in the classroom, and I think it's shown as we've gone from the elementary school now no longer being designated as requiring assistance. So Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Put your backpack.
You don't have to. Thank
We're
you.
good.
Thank you both for everything you do.
Just wanted the backpack.
All right, so that wraps up our celebrations.
All right, to all those that came for the celebrations, you're welcome to stay.
But we won't hold it against you if you choose not to. The rest of it's business meetings, so thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for all of the good work that you do. Mr. Chairman?
The last one gets out the door here. All right. Do we have a student rep? Scott here, student rep?
Oh, yeah.
No?
I thought she just came for the meeting.
Right there.
I feel like I'm being interrogated.
What's that?
So I feel like I'm being interrogated.
No, not at all. Not at all. We'll be gentle. What's new?
So we had our first blood drive of the year on October 25th, and we had 45 present donors and collected 33 pints of blood, which saves up to 99 lives, or can help to save 99 lives. That same week, Friday, October 28th, we had our annual Spirit Week kickoff, which is, Spirit Week is a huge event at Clinton High School, really ups school morale, and it's an event that all the students look forward to every year. So that will take place, the first day will be November 17th, and it will end on November 23rd, and with the Powder Puff football, cheerleading, and relay races being on November 19th, that Saturday. And then we have had many teams go to playoffs for sports, including field hockey, girls soccer, and football. And most recently, the cheer team came second in our league and is moving on to regionals this weekend.
Fantastic.
Great.
That's great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
You did well.
All right, Robin.
Did I get twice as long because I wasn't here last week?
You can bank those minutes. How's that?
Anyways, last school committee meeting, I wasn't here because I had taken 31 middle school and high school students to hear the United States Marine Corps Band. We went to Mechanics Hall, and I wished I had a picture of the kids' faces when they heard the opening sounds of this band. They were in awe. It was like nothing they had ever heard before. And then we had 2 musicians come the next day and do a clinic for us. The kids really have been propelled to practice more, to pay attention more in rehearsal. So a win-win situation for all. Back to CTA. This morning, with a little glitch in technology this morning, we were really, really grateful to the 2 people that Chris Strahan and Brian Sharon, who worked to solve that problem to get us back functioning with technology. I don't think we understand how ingrained technology has come in our teaching. You know, I was like, Friday before I left, I didn't print out my grading sheets for this week. And it was like, oh no, I can't get there. I can't print them out. We had nothing you needed the internet for today didn't work. And it was up, I don't know, somewhere mid-morning, I guess. So that was good. But with the new technology, too, you know that we've gone to this new student information system. And it's providing a bit of a challenge all the way around. We asked for more training on our professional development day in the high school and the middle school. Both got a good chunk. It was helpful. I understand a little bit more. The specialists had the opportunity to talk with our tech people and say, pass or fail, that's it. We don't get conduct, we don't get effort. And we had a really good discussion about, grading on perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4, with 1 being exemplary and 4 being failing. But there's so much to learn with this new system. I'm still, I look at it and I go, okay, I need to email the parent. We're not proficient at anything yet. And so if we possibly can have more training, the elementary school had great data analysis, but I thought I sent out an email and said, I hope you all had a good day of the new grading system, Infinite Campus, and all of a sudden my phone blew up from the elementary school and said we didn't get any. And they're a bit apprehensive about report cards coming up, and I think everybody is thinking, what don't we know? Where are the glitches going to be? So anyways, keep you posted. So that's my report. But it's so nice to hear there's energy in the system. There's activity going on. The cheerleaders are cheering. The football team is winning. The band is playing. There's just, the play is going on. There's energy and excitement, and kids are staying after school, and parents are continuously picking kids up or dropping them off. It's great to feel that school is back to more like what we know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just, I don't know if we want to bring it up now, but in your packet, you do have a copy of a letter. It was dated September, but it took a while. But this was just from the, not in your, it was like sort of shoved in your packet, I think. On the, from the Sterling Fair Committee, thanking them. And you got a copy of it, I think, right? Yeah. It's just funny. It's addressed to Principal Hastings. That's how long of a hiatus there was for
I thought
COVID.
he was coming back.
So we did get that. So I just wanted to make sure you saw that since Robin was updating us a little bit on the band. Just a couple things. If you the internet glitch. It's actually our main fiber line that provides our internet to up here was down, and actually a couple years ago that would have been disastrous, but Krista Hand's been working to get that redundancy in, so we were able to switch over to a backup line through Comcast. So it took a little bit to get switched over to our backup line, but at least we have the backup line because the fiber's still not fixed. So we'll be operating on the backup line until they're able to get that fixed. So that's good that at least you can see some of that redundancy coming in. And we will have lots of trainings on Infinite Campus. So, all right, sorry, go ahead.
No. We got nobody from the PTA. She's not. I don't see. No. All right. And I skipped this last week, or last meeting. I did it again here. Do we have anybody here for public comment? I always miss that. I don't know why.
CPAC or LPAC either?
Yeah.
CPAC? Okay.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Meyer, it's all yours.
Okay. So we just had a couple staffing updates. First one was a resignation. Kelly Vanass has given us her official letter saying she's retiring effective February 8th. So we wish her well. And she's been, she's been in the Clinton school system for 30 years. So, so she met with me to go over her retirement plans there. And we had 2 new hires. Mary Elise Ortiz Maldonado and David Wood, both ABA-IAs. I believe when those 2 started, it finally got us up to what we were hoping to open the year with. So I think we finally got caught up on hiring, sort of. And then, so that's really all we have for staffing updates there. The next thing in here is just a note on the MASC Joint Conference. Vice Chairman Barakis, Mr. Bates, and I went down to the MASC conference in Hyannis last week, and I thought it was a good conference. It focused a lot on like social emotional learning and people's kind of mental states as we're still kind of coming out of COVID, equity. Even some of the sessions. What I like about it is you go to some of the sessions and you learn some things, but you also get like validated, right? So some of the presentations they're talking about this is a school district that's presenting. They're getting highlighted for great work they're doing, and the focus on their presentation was, kind of their three strategies was. One was focused on equity, which we're sort of going down that road now with their equity audit. The other one was universal design for learning, which we've been doing now for 3 years, and their third one was like a welcome center, which we've been developing. So it's sort of reaffirming to know that sort of these things that are being recognized and touted as sort of best practices are things that we're either doing or going that way. I'd say the other great session I went to was on leveraging a MSBA project for equity, but it talked a lot about the different components that will go into when you're really looking at what you want to get out of an MSBA project, and how you can some of the creative things you can do to really promote promote equity by sort of including. You're not allowed to do it even now, but a lot of times, your special ed or your related service providers in buildings the way they are, they weren't designed with them in mind. So they end up sort of tucked in little corners and stuff that aren't necessarily in the best place if you could design it from the beginning, knowing that that's what you need to do. And so it was a reminder on some of those things. So I thought that was a great presentation. I don't know, Joel, if you...
No, I agree completely. I've been fortunate to go several times to this event, and it is validating to see that a lot of the work that's going on, again, in terms of this progressive best practices, has been captured and is being worked on in Clinton Public Schools in the strategic plan. And so I appreciate the opportunity to go as well. I find the time in the workshops, in the networking, incredibly valuable.
All right, good. The next one's a community eligibility provision. So there's a letter in your packet. It was dated October 18th. So through a lot of work through our food services department, Dave Vanass and Beth Armstrong, with some support from our Family Welcome Center, with Guadalupe and Nancy, we have actually been approved to implement the community eligibility provision, which means basically we can offer free lunch and free breakfast to everybody. Okay? Now, you might say, aren't we doing that right now? Well, we are, because the state approved to fund it in their budget this year. But we don't know if if the state's going to continue to do that. So what this allows us to do is to continue to do this, because we are, through the federal program of the community eligibility provision, we would be able to continue serving free breakfast and lunch, even if the state were not going to fund it separately. This allows us to offer that through June of 2026. So it got us about, I think it's like four school years. And we don't have to do it that long. If for some reason, as we're looking at it, the way the reimbursement rates or something like that is, if it's a financial drain on us and we needed to change, we could. But it gives us the opportunity to do it, which I think is great. And I think the second page of that letter is kind of just a signature. The third page, so basically what they do for the community eligibility provision is they look at what your percentage was and then they multiply it by a multiplier. So our rate for the next 4 years is 78.7, which is pretty good. Normally they tell you, when we try to do the math, you've got to get over, you got to be in the 60s at least for it to make sense, or otherwise you're doing it, but you're kind of doing it at a deficit. So we're hoping as we do it that the reimbursements that we get will cover the costs of the free meals, and then we'll be able to go from there. So I think it's exciting, and we've qualified for all of our schools too, which, I worked in a previous district where not all the schools qualified, and we had to sort of decide. So we only did it at the elementary schools, but not the high school, that kind of stuff. So, I think that's good news from a stability with the free meals.
No, you said reimburse, is that state or federal?
It's federal, through the USDA, yeah. All right, so community engagement. So typically just kind of trying to go through our strategic plan, just to remind everything. Developing a welcoming environment. We did do the welcoming environment survey, and we looked at that, right when this started, and we've tried to implement some of the things from that. We do still have some training and learning opportunities. Parents and guardians are mostly school-based. Two-way communication. I think that's part of the goal, I think, with things like Infinite Campus, is that we're going to be able to use, leverage those. Also, increasing media and public outreach. The newsletter, we've been doing the newsletter. We finally were able to hook it up so it's easier for people to access through our website and social media. And we just did that at our last issue. I know Kelly was able to work with Christy to get that hooked up. And then I can get a report on who signs up to automatically get it. And just by linking it to that, we got a whole slew of people that had signed up when they got it. So that's good. Partnership between the school and community regarding decision making. I think we saw through the tri-council meetings, we try to make our site councils meaningful, and we try to go through and talk a little bit about what the role is and what the expectations are each year. The continuing to expand community partnerships within the school. We've talked about doing some Title I stuff. We've done a little bit of Title I stuff throughout the years. We've talked about doing some stuff this year, especially at the elementary school, to try to look at the school parent compact, and providing opportunities and experiences to promote student and civic engagement. Obviously, the Mocktown meeting's been going. We're still trying to incorporate the civics project into the high school, so that's a requirement anyway. So I think we're, just like anything, I think they're all works in progress. It's been a snapshot. It's a collection of work of the last 4 years, 5 years, and I think we've made some strides in those areas. So the next topic is upcoming school committee meetings. I know we had talked about there's some conflicts. So we looked at the proposed agenda items for the November 28th and the December 12th meeting. And what we're proposing is to basically eliminate the meeting on November 28th and December 12th, combine them into one meeting on December 5th. And then I'd actually recommend that we hold that meeting in the auditorium, because we're probably going to recognize the John and Abigail Adams Scholars, so there could be a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys...
I'll be happy to make a motion that we adjust our calendar as noted.
Any questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor?
All right. So our next meeting then will be December 5th in the auditorium, and it'll be we'll have some student recognition going on again. And there's an updated calendar in your packet with the visual calendar and sort of the topics.
I like that. Now I know what I'm doing.
That's great. Thank you.
So the equity audit, we contracted for the equity audit. I gave you some information on that previously. We've started doing the equity surveys. So what I've included in here, just so you can see them, is there's a copy of the parent and guardian survey, which was emailed out to parents. Last week, I got an update at the end of last week from our consultant that so far we've already had 52 parents from CES, 51 from CMS, and 38 from the high school who had answered the survey. From the staff, 73 staff from the elementary school, 54 from the middle school, and 44 from the high school had already responded. And additionally, there were 10 parent surveys that were completed in the Spanish survey and 6 in the Portuguese survey. So we'll continue to keep that survey open. I'll probably do another reminder of that when I'll probably send out an email later this week reminding people that there's no school on Friday in observance of Veterans Day, and probably do another link to the survey if they haven't done it. There's also a copy of the student survey in here, so you can see those survey questions. We did send home the opt-out form through the email and inform people that the students would be taking the survey. If they didn't have to take the survey, they'd be taking it this week. I think the high school might have taken it today. Did you guys take it today? And then I don't know. Oh, you tried it? Okay, yeah, so we did glitches. And then you guys just took the 1 grade? Thursday, okay. All right. And we said that's why I put the questions in here. I mean, they're very innocent questions, and there's no personal identifiable information or anything like that. It's just to get sort of a baseline snapshot. The Alice drill, we did conduct the Alice drill October 26th in cooperation with the Clinton Police Department. I think it was pretty successful. If you think Alice is alert, lockdown, inform, counter, evacuate. And so really we practiced the alert, lockdown, and inform portion. And we were able to go through with the Clinton Police Department and kind of watch the response, check the doors, do those types of things. So it was good. And it's always a good just opportunity to see how there's little things that you notice when you do those drills. I know there was like one classroom at the high school where the students weren't very quiet. They kind of had some conversation going on. And what was crazy was how noticeable it was. Because when the entire rest of the building is silent and there's noise out of one classroom, you can hear it, So it's just little reminders like that when you do those drills, and then we're able to kind of pass those on and remind staff. From a facilities standpoint, I think things were good. We didn't run into situations where doors couldn't lock or anything like that. I think we've addressed most of those. And then we used the Remind app to try to get some additional messaging out there, so we can use that as part of our information system, as well as if we needed to, the overhead speaker or whatever else we have.
Just real quick, and I was talking to Meg on the walk-in. The way they ran that, I know that I didn't get any information out of the schools, but the way they run that with the younger kids, and they gear it toward like a wolf? A wolf instead of a shoot. Yeah, instead of a shooter, so the kids get trained without scaring them.
Right.
She gave me the whole rundown on the walk down the hall, but whoever came up with that, it's really. I mean, you're not scaring the kids yet. You're still keeping them.
Because there can always be something that comes up that we need to be safe. We don't always have to say it's the worst case scenario.
Especially for the younger kids, that's really good.
Yeah, we tried it with the high school kids. They didn't believe
No. I can't believe you had all classrooms be quiet.
The middle school MSBA update. There's a few slides in here. These are from the public meeting that was held a couple weeks ago. There are 6 architects who have submitted proposals to be our designer for the feasibility study. The next step, sort of in evaluating those, is to go to the MSBA architect review. So if you see the next page here has the RFS process update. So basically, all those green check marks are things that our OPM has done. At this time, by now, they should have sent the proposals to the MSBA, and then they'll fill out all that information, and we'll have the meeting in November. And then I think Tina, you're one of and it should be me and Mike Ward. So I have a phone call scheduled for tomorrow with the OPM one of the things we are going to discuss is trying to probably set up a quick phone call with the three of us and the OPM to prep for that meeting on the 29th, at least just to make sure we know what to expect, where it is. I think it's still virtual, but we got to figure all that stuff out.
They
so.
canceled the one on the 15th, right?
Yeah, so there was
I couldn't figure it out.
right. So there was a tentative building committee meeting on the 15th that they had just picked a date just in case they were worried about it. They said at this point there's nothing that we need to do until after the selection committee.
Perfect.
The next building committee meeting is on the 29th, so it'll be in the evening, so that we can give the update of basically what happened with the MSBA meeting that morning. And then there's a draft in here of sort of the goals that the educational goals and the security goals and all those types of things that the building committee has been working on to just sort of have some stuff to come back to sort of ground our work. Once again, those probably are sort of our building committee goals. But that's something we'll kind of give the designer, and I'm sure they might morph a little bit when the designer kind of holds some other public meetings and that kind of stuff. So, but that process is moving right along, and you can tell they know. When I was going around we were going around the vendors in at the conference. The designers there were two of the designers were down there. They grab you. Even the construction companies now are like, hey, you guys have a project in the pipeline, right? Everyone's starting to circle the wagons. So, all right. So I think that's all I have for my report.
Thank you. And then from curriculum. Safety?
I don't think any of our
Yeah, I
subcommittees
don't think anything's
Not between the last meeting.
Marketing, policies, that was the last meeting we covered all those, right?
Yeah, we had a bunch.
I have nothing from facilities.
I'll probably we'll probably try to schedule a safety meeting soon, just because I know we said we were going to wait till after the lockdown drill,
Yep.
and then we could kind of debrief if there's anything come up. So we'll probably do something like that to figure out our next steps.
Cool. Thanks. We're in negotiations, we're good, right?
Should we? Yep.
That's right. All right. Anything under old business?
We got something under old business.
All yours.
You're all right.
Yeah.
So last year I made a remote work accommodation request, and there was an agreement that was signed. It stated in that agreement that I needed to inform the school committee no later than December 1st if I intended to resign. With the change in the school committee meeting, this is now our last school committee meeting before December 1st. So I am just going to inform you that I intend to continue in my role as superintendent under the original terms of the existing contract. So thank you for giving me that space for this year to kind of figure things out, but hopefully by next year everything will be the way it was.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I don't know if I need that.
That's how you get it.
Great day for Clinton Public Schools, for sure.
Anything else under old business? You can't up to that. Okay, under new business.
I just want to say it is great to have Jan Gottesman and the item back here. Having the newspaper here, being able to cover the meetings, it's a vital part of that coverage. It's important. It's important to the community. It's important to the work that we're trying to do, and the level of accountability that brings to the process is invaluable. So thank you for all of your hard work. Great to have you back.
Just say nice stuff about us, all right?
Just print the truth.
Can't do both.
There's one letter in your
Yeah, if you want to cover it.
Yeah, so there's one letter I did put in, we slid in your packet, just that the basketball cornhole fundraiser, this is the third year they're going to be running it. They just wrote a letter informing us that they're going to be doing it at the Clinton PAV on Sunday, November 26th. And they're going to turn all the proceeds over to the athletic fund, and they'll provide us with a breakdown of the financials like they did last year.
And let me just clarify, this is just for our, we don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to vote on it. It's just just wanted to. Yep.
Just for our
Just for
understanding.
Anything else under new business? Oh, yep.
I apologize for coming in at the last minute tonight. I was actually at a Clinton Holiday Pops meeting. So we're thrilled that we're having a concert this year for our 25th anniversary. And we're doubly thrilled that the Clinton Middle School singers are going to be able to join us. So we're thrilled about that. The tickets are on sale right now through the Parks and Rec. We have a very, very special guest reader this year. She happens to be here tonight. Jan's going to be our guest reader. And then we always have our special guest conductor, which is not named until that evening. So that's a really exciting part of the event, too. So it's a great community event. I really hope if you've never come before that you give it a chance and come and try to make it a family tradition. It's a great night in Clinton. So
The date,
hoping
Tina, is
everybody-
when?
Is Saturday, December 3rd at
So,
Clinton Town
Jan,
Hall.
you're doing Twas the Night Before Christmas? I tell you, watch the old ones and get there early, because even when you think you got it down, he's going to sit there and be like, no, it's...
To get the tickets, do we go to Parks and Rec online? Do we physically go to the building?
Either one. They
Okay.
have tickets available online as well.
Then get them fast before their
Yes.
the capacity is limited, right?
It'll be a great night.
Okay.
Perfect. Anything else? All right. Can I have
Just
a motion?
maybe wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
We have a lot to be thankful for. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank
I'll
you.
second that.
All right. All in favor? 47 minutes, Jan.